So guys, we're going to continue doing some enumeration, and for this part number 2, for doing enumeration with Metasploit and Meterpreter, we are going to be doing some ARP, some tokens, and some patches, and a little bit more. So let's go ahead and go to the session for this one. So session number 2, right? If we do the get UID, you can see that we are still the system. Nothing has changed. So I want to go ahead and run a post, and the post that I want to run is basically a module. So it's going to be the Windows gather, and then so Windows post gather the ARP scanner, and the ARP scanner, we need to set the R host to 192.168.1. I believe it's that one that's 50 to that 55. With that, let me do that. Let's see. Yeah, so it won't let me run that. Let's see if we can run it, because it gave me, I don't want to run because it's on my local, basically on my local network, and that's going to retrieve all the information. So if we do it that 50, that's still gonna get more of the stuff. So if we do that 50, let's go ahead and run it for that 50. So the script didn't work. What about that 51, that 53? Yeah, let's go ahead and just let's go ahead and get out of here. So let's go ahead and background this, and let's go ahead and use this same one so we can see the options that we can do. And we can do use instead of run. When you are in interpreter, you want to use run, and whenever you are back to Metasploit, you want to use the use, right? So use it. Let's go ahead and see the options that we have. We have sessions, of course, and we have a target address range or CIDR. So I believe we do an our host, set our host to, let's say 192.168.1.50 to that one that's 55. Set session to 2. Let's see if it works like that. Okay, so we were able to IP. So we got 1, and that one that we got was for the .50, and the .50, that is our, you see that it gave you the MAC address. So that's the only one that responded to or that we got the ARP for. So that means that we are in communication with that 50. And remember that 50 is basically the domain controller, and that's why we have it in our ARP table, right? If there was another one that we were communicating with, it was going to show over here, but the only one that shows is the .50. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the sessions and let's go to 2. So go back to interpreter. Another one that you want to do, like I showed you before, so for interpreter you can do an IP config. IP config would give you the IP address, the net mask, and if there's another interface that is configured over here, it will show it to you. But as you can see, there is only one interface with an IP address. If we find another interface with another IP address, then we want to go ahead and do do an nmap scan and see if we find other servers and potentially like another domain that we can hop to. Another one that you can do is a netstat, and the netstat will show you the connections on this machine. So you can see the protocol TCP. We have port 80, and port 80 is connected right now. Oh, it's not connected, it is listening. The state is listening. You can see port 135, 445, which we are abusing right now. It is listening, and you can see the program name that is using it. So you can see the netstat to see if there's like port 80 or port 8080. If port 8080 is open, and if it's only open for the local system, then you want to go ahead and take a look at that and see what's running in there so you can potentially exploit it. All right, also you can take a look at the routing table by just doing route from here, and you can see the routing table over here. You can see that we basically have a default gateway to 192.168.1.1. We have the net mask, and this is the routing table that you could potentially also take a look to see if you find a new server in there. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and background this. And another module that you can run from here, we are going to use the post windows gather enum tokens. Okay, we do go to options, and this module, what it does is it's going to gather or enumerate the domain admin tokens are in this machine. So if we do set session to 2, and we can run it, and it's going to do a scan on that server that we have a connection to see if it finds any tokens. As you can see right now, it did not find any domain admin tokens in here. Another one that we can do is to take a look at the patches to see if this server has been patched or if it has any. And it's patches. There we go. Options. All we need to do is the session, which is really nice. Session 2. Run it. And as you can see right now, the patch list has been saved in this directory. And you can see that this one has been installed, and that's it. So it only has this one over here. So if you go ahead and copy that, and if you just go ahead and just do a Google search and see what, when this was patched, and if there's any vulnerability that came out after that patch, it is really good information. So if you go over here, and that after that you want to click on the Microsoft catalog, and you can see what this patch was for. So it is probably was for this one over here. You can click on it, you can download it, you can read about it. This one installs the update to enable future updates to install successfully on all Windows 2008 edition. So a lot of good stuff, and from here you can take a look more in depth and see if you can find a potential exploit that you can use to compromise this server further. All right. Another one that you could do is the PowerShell environment settings. So if you do, you want to do enum PowerShell environment, and if you go to options over here, and you want to set the session, and the session we are going to set it to 2 again. Just go ahead and run it, and this one did not come with anything, so I guess there's no environment setting, or there's probably an issue with the module. So it could be there's 2 possibilities over there, right? So the other ones I want to go ahead and just run it from, because we can run those modules like I said before. We can run it from just straight from Metasploit and just specify the session, or we can just run it straight from the session. So let's go ahead and go to the session so you can see that you can also do it from here. So if you do run post, and it's going to be in the Windows, and we are going to do enum. I forgot the gather, then enumeration, and then the one that I want to run is the IE. And this one, what it does, it just runs. Basically, it's going to retrieve the history and the cookies, and also try to see if there's any credentials that it might find in there. So if you have like a safe pass or anything, this is what it does. So this is really good, really nice to have. And the last one that I want to go over is the Bloodhound. We have used Bloodhound before, so let's go ahead and run it, and you can just paste it over here since I have it copied. So the post Windows gather Bloodhound, and if you run that, that's because PowerShell is not installed. Okay, so if PowerShell was installed in this box, what it's going to do, it was going to execute the Bloodhound, and then you were going to be able to import those of the enumeration that Bloodhound does, and you can import that into your Bloodhound GUI, and you can just use Bloodhound, which is a really nice tool. And we have used it before. So if you have a machine, try to run this Bloodhound, and then try to import that into your Bloodhound, because we have I'll show you how to install it and how to configure it before. So try to run this Bloodhound, get those files, upload it to Bloodhound GUI, and see what you can find. A really nice tool, and it really works great whenever you have PowerShell installed in your machine. But for this machine, I don't have, or this Windows machine, Windows 8 machine, really old machine, does not have PowerShell installed for some reason. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a really cool trick. So if you go ahead and background this, and if you go to search, and if you want to search for the post, this is what we're going to search for: post, Windows, gather. What this is going to give you is it's going to give you all the modules that you can potentially run to gather information over here. And if you just want to go, just search for the post module, that's going to give you, a lot of more information. And if you just want to do, recon, you want to search for recon, just go ahead and put recon in here. And that's going to give you all the modules for recon. There's not a lot of them, but hey, so that is a really nice trick on how to find, if you want to do recon, if you want to do management, if you want to do, there's also credentials, there's also gather. So if you want to do, just search for those, you can do it this way. Thank you guys for watching.